For those of you who may have missed it, last night at the WWE's Clash of Champions 2020 pay-per-view event, Drew McIntyre defeated Randy Orton in their scheduled ambulance match for the WWE Championship, due to a number of superstars such as The Big Show interfering in the match to help Drew retain his gold. And by all means, many wrestling fans were quite shocked that Randy Orton did not end up winning the WWE title, due to the fact that it was heavily rumored that Randy would be getting a brief reign as WWE Champion before the upcoming Hell in a Cell pay-per-view event, in which Orton would have likely lost the title back to Drew McIntyre and then get drafted over to SmackDown, but that never ended up happening. And not only were wrestling fans rather upset that Vince McMahon decided not to have Randy Orton's latest revitalized run in WWE pay off with a big title reign, but Randy Orton himself was reportedly furious with the booking decision at Clash of Champions. And if a new backstage rumor proves to be true, Randy Orton's relationship with Vince McMahon and the WWE in general has become very strained, and it looks as though Orton may indeed be contemplating leaving WWE for AEW like he had originally considered last year in the very near future, with one source mentioning that one potential reason for Vince changing the match finish last night at Clash of Champions from Randy Orton winning the WWE title to Drew retaining the gold with the help of some legends was due to the fact that Randy has apparently told Vince that he's burnt out in WWE and wants a fresh challenge somewhere else, where he will be given the respect he feels he deserves at this point in his career. As most of you are likely aware, Randy Orton had signed a new contract with WWE last November, and while most fans would likely think that this means Orton is locked down in WWE for at least 3 or 5 years, a backstage rumor has indicated that Randy Orton has an opt-out clause in his current deal, where he could theoretically leave WWE after spending at least 1 full year in the company, and considering 1 full year will be coming up very soon in early November 2020, the possibility of Randy Orton leaving WWE for AEW once his feud with Drew McIntyre concludes is a very real possibility, and a big loss for WWE that could have been prevented had Randy been booked stronger during his latest run in the company, which Orton felt warranted another reign as world champion. A big developing news story was released earlier today regarding former WWE Champion Rob Van Dam officially leaving TNA Impact Wrestling, and as we have briefly touched upon in some of our previous videos, there was some interest from Vince McMahon to eventually have RVD return to WWE once his contract with Impact Wrestling ran up, with McMahon apparently believing that despite the fact that RVD is clearly past his prime years in the business, Rob would still be a very valuable addition in the WWE's mid-card title scenes on either Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. And if a new intriguing backstage rumor proves to be true, the real reason why RVD decided to leave Impact Wrestling this morning is because of the fact that Van Dam has secretly had talks with Vince McMahon over the past couple of weeks over a big return to WWE, in which RVD would be returning to Friday Night SmackDown, where Vince thinks Rob Van Dam would be a great addition to the Intercontinental title scene, and a great challenger for Sami Zayn's title in the coming months. If you hadn't known, RVD has not actually been signed to a long-term deal with TNA for quite some time, and was simply working with the company on short-term agreements, and now that Vince wants RVD back in WWE, Van Dam has officially left Impact Wrestling, and will be making his return to WWE as a special pick in the upcoming WWE draft for the blue brand, and one source has mentioned that this would apparently be RVD's last run in wrestling before officially retiring, with a backstage rumor revealing that this new WWE contract for RVD would be a 3-year part-time deal, with Van Dam likely to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame after his 3-year deal with the company runs up in late 2023. While some fans have complained that the WWE have essentially ruined the Retribution faction over the past couple of weeks, with the rumored secret leader of Retribution that Vince is considering to reveal very soon, most fans will likely change their opinions when it comes to Retribution. Apparently, while some rumors have gone around regarding the likes of CM Punk, Roman Reigns, or Triple H being the leader of Retribution, the WWE are actually secretly considering having Sting return to WWE for one final run beginning in late 2020, to be revealed as a hidden or secret leader of Retribution, with Sting likely to announce that he was behind the entire faction at Survivor Series before the Team WWE versus Team Retribution match occurs, a storyline swerve that Vince feels would shock most fans. Apparently, Sting has been wanting to make a comeback to WWE for quite some time, and Vince now thinks this whole Retribution storyline would be perfect for Sting, who has always been anti-WWE. We have been told that the storyline of Sting being Retribution's leader would inevitably lead to The Undertaker returning for one final match, with McMahon basically wanting the storyline to revolve around The Undertaker defending the company he has always been loyal to and quite literally represents, that being WWE, against the outsider Sting and his Retribution followers, with the Sting vs Undertaker dream match occurring at WrestleMania 37, with both superstars reportedly set to retire after they settle the score at Mania, with Taker rumored to win the match and effectively put an end to Retribution in WWE. The new monstrous heel Roman Reigns may have dominated his cousin Jey Uso last night at Clash of Champions 2020, but with the new rumors going around, most fans will likely be excited to hear the new big plans the WWE have in store for Roman Reigns in the coming months, and it involves multiple members of his wrestling family. As we have discussed before, ever since Roman Reigns returned to WWE at SummerSlam 2020, the big plan WWE were considering for Roman Reigns was to have the new heel Roman form a new Samoan Shield-like faction consisting of Roman Reigns and the Usos, and despite the fact that Reigns recently faced off against his cousin Jey Uso at Clash of Champions, the rumored plan that could occur as early as this week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown will see Jimmy and Jey Uso bow down to Roman Reigns and declare that Roman is their tribal chief and that they will align with their dominant leader moving forward, with Reigns agreeing to leading the Usos, and will reveal the new faction will be called the Samoan Dynasty, with one source mentioning that after a few weeks of Roman Reigns and the Usos dominating the blue brand in this new group, Roman will recruit more members for a Samoan Dynasty faction, including Tamina, who is set to return soon, and quite possibly Rikishi as well, who has apparently told Vince that he would love to be a part of Roman Reigns and his sons the Usos' big storyline in WWE for the foreseeable future in some capacity. As of right now, the Samoan Dynasty will consist of Paul Heyman along with Roman Reigns, the Usos, Rikishi, and Tamina Snuka. The last big rumor we have for you guys today is directly related to the previous rumor of Roman Reigns' new Samoan Dynasty faction, because according to one of our sources, after Roman Reigns establishes his new dominant Samoan Dynasty group on SmackDown, the WWE will be heading in the direction of booking a huge storyline between Roman Reigns and his Samoan Dynasty against The Fiend Bray Wyatt and his new Wyatt family, which will be consisting of The Fiend, Alexa Bliss, Bo Dallas, and Lars Sullivan, with a big underlying story here being The Fiend trying to win back his Universal title from the big dog. But at the same time, the WWE will reportedly book a number of tag team matches between the Samoan Dynasty and the new Wyatt family to start off the feud, with the storyline then evolving into The Fiend Bray Wyatt trying to win back the Universal title from Roman Reigns.